It's me and him. Unite them.
Let's put them together.
Mm-hmm. It's like Mermaid Man and
Barnacle.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining. We're here for season 2, episode 1. I'm Cody Galloway, the owner of Keegley North. We got
Josh Burney, acquisitions manager.
and we got
I am Tyler St. Marie. I own a media company called Zenvos Media.
Let's go. Yo, so we're super stoked to have you on the show, honestly. But real quick before we break into you, I just want to talk about season 2 and what to expect on season 2. Things are going to be different this season. Super different. Like I want more entrepreneurs, more business owners. Like we just focused on real estate kind of season 1, which was super cool, but I want to put everybody on. If you're doing something cool and you're passionate about it, I want to tell people about it type thing. You know what I mean? I want everybody to have a platform to do that, and we're just going to start making that happen.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think everybody has it in them to be an entrepreneur, but a lot of people just don't maybe have the courage or the mindset right then to take that leap of faith. And to hear people locally killing it all the time, and like that's hella motivating to me. So like I just want more of a platform for that, for people to see the local people have done it, hear the struggles from the local people, like what was hard for them, what sucked for them, what was easy for them, you know, stuff like that, so people can start, you know, having more motivation to really do their own thing. You know, and I do have a shout out. You want to do the shout out?
My boy Walker, he is the creator of Echo Energy. Thank you for allowing us to sip on it on the show.
Yep, I will have a crack. Yep.
Reach out to Walker.
The drink is
Echo
pink.
Energy.
Cheers. I know, right?
For all your energy needs.
Bro, it ain't bad.
No, it's really good.
It actually tastes really good.
Really good.
It's not bad at all.
No, not bad at all.
Yeah.
Put watermelon on there. So let me know what I'm drinking, but it's a great product.
You gotta start somewhere, right?
All right, so down to business. Honestly, like I said, season 2 is going to be different. We're going to have some new business people, entrepreneurs. And with that said, I got the homie Tyler coming out on the show to launch off episode 1. Like we're going to just break it down, man. Like, how did you get to where you are now? Like let's
Before we start that, can you tell us what it is? What is exactly what you do? What is it?
So I feel like, so in a nutshell, what I do, basically, I'm a videographer.
Okay.
But I'm also a business owner, and I also have to manage doing the marketing, all my like website stuff, how to figure out bookings, take payment, like all that kind of stuff. But what I do, so I kind of capitalize on the real estate market. So I do a lot of listings. So if you have like a listing that's about to go live, I'll basically come in, take all the photos, you know, get it ready to go on the market. Also, I offer listing videos. So if you need a listing video to kind of tie in with the agent,
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. I know we got a lot of agents, investors all tuning in. So I mean, if you want your listing pictures to look good or video, quit slacking.
Yeah. So I guess to answer more of that question, so the root of like the listing photos is more to like earn the business.
For sure.
Because like I'm a videographer at heart, and I like to create things and make things come to life. And sometimes it's hard to do that with photography, but a lot of times if you can take a job doing photos and like doing the listings, you can show the agent that like you can get the job done, you can do it, you can do a really good job, and you're not charging an arm and a leg,
right?
Half an arm and a leg. But then it makes it worth it because you have to provide value.
For sure.
So sometimes like I have clients that I strictly just do listing photos for, but they don't do any video.
Got it.
So I don't want to price myself out of the market by not offering both
everything,
photography services and photography.
More tools.
So yeah, essentially it's just like a media production company. So we do videography and photography for events, real estate listings, brands, different promotional stuff. I've done stuff for like Target Center. I've done Alliance Field. It's a pretty big one. Shields.
I was gonna say Shields, bro. No, he works with Shields. Yeah, bro, he the plug. Yeah.
one of those things where it just kind of happened through another referral partner. So
For sure.
But yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're right. So all right, let's back it up. Let's say what, man? 10 years? 5 years? Okay.
So videography, like in general, or
I want to rewind it way before. I know you were involved in real estate mortgage a bit. What made you leave the real estate mortgage field to get here? Give people like the behind the scenes details to the decisions, how you. For sure.
So as far as like leaving mortgages to start what I'm doing now,
Mhm.
in a sense, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things you don't control in, I guess, real estate in general, but
Mhm.
you try to control what you can and make the best out of it.
Right.
But for me, I can't not do anything. So like when the market is being slow and there's only so much activity that I can do before I burn out.
Right.
So the one thing that always kept me going was doing videos, and I was around a lot of realtors, and they, like video, and a lot of brokerages are telling their agents that they need to do more video, they need to be present on social media. And so me kind of always doing this in the background, it was just kind of the perfect storm to capitalize on the market.
For sure.
And then when things did slow down, a lot of agents were trying to scramble and figure out what they can do.
Spice up the business. Yeah.
And so then I kind of just came into play where I was already like doing that. So I was able to help a lot of those agents and, get their listings sold and just provide value and
For sure.
work with them rather than
And you were a successful lender, right?
to a point. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like I had another business in the background. So I was 50-50, but then the video just got to a point where I couldn't sustain doing both.
For sure.
So I needed to decide. I just didn't think it was fair for my company, for myself, for my clients. I wanted to be 100% in whatever I was doing. And I just felt like I couldn't do that. And I wasn't doing that.
Mhm.
And I almost felt guilty to a point where, to a degree.
No, for sure.
Absolutely.
But it's just life though. It's just part of being like an entrepreneur and having something that's your own.
Yeah, that's
you're
a big
doing
one.
something over here, but then all your attention what you really want to do is over here, but you're
Facts.
doing this first.
Yep.
So and that's and you have to make it work
Mhm.
with money and.
I mean,
So-
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of entrepreneurs that will hear this, and the fact that you were able to juggle both a full-time job while nursing your essential business baby.
Yep.
Sacrifice.
Imagine the hours outside of the 9 to 5 that you put into it.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly.
that's what a lot of people don't understand is they want to be successful agents. They
Yeah.
want to be successful, entrepreneurs, but they don't understand the amount of work after your 9 to 5, how much you have to put into it,
Yep.
Like we all have families, we all have kids we go home to, and it's not like you can go home and just
Sometimes
Work
people
shit,
need
yeah.
to turn off at some point. There are people that can always be on, but it's just to a point sometimes mental health comes into play. You just have to do what's going to make you happy in the end. So
Facts.
how
And-
long, sorry.
No.
I just want to clear. How long were you doing both? Were you doing?
oh boy, so I started doing my first so I guess there's a big background to what led to this, but we'll get into that.
Okay.
So
We can jump in the gun.
it was probably about 3 years, 2020 to 2020. Sorry, don't know numbers to March of 2023.
Okay.
So literally up until a few months ago ish that I was doing both. But before that, I was working another job and I was also doing videos as well. So
So this has always been a love for you.
Mhm.
To,
yeah, ever since I don't want to when I was a kid, yeah, I like playing around with the camera and stuff. But in my actual adulthood, when I was able to have some money to buy a camera, and you always start out with a cheaper camera and work your way up. But yeah, just kind of the word I'm trying to use spurred from there.
Okay.
Grew
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
there, yeah,
blossomed into. I mean,
kind
I've
of what it
seen,
is. Yeah.
or I was overhearing you talking about all the equipment you have now. So you're not that little boy with a Polaroid anymore. You're a full-blown facility.
Well, I remember. So I'll tell you the story real quick. So I remember we went on a little family vacation when I was in 3rd grade, So we didn't have like a ton of money, but my mom went and bought like a camera. It's like one of those camcorders you hold, the football
Okay.
screen. So we went and bought it and like used it for the vacation, like filmed, took pictures, everything, and then we returned it when we got back.
Oh, yeah.
So we got, I don't know what it was, $200 maybe, $150 at the time.
Yeah.
So,
I still do that.
and I still love that camera. I wish I had that same camera that I could just like put on like display somewhere.
Yo, that would be
That was
so
dope.
cool. That birthed it all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah, yeah.
first memory
Yeah.
I have of like loving photography.
Third grade memory. I mean, that's how you
Yeah,
know,
my-
like
my
the
wife
passion.
remembers.
Something like that. Yeah.
You, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So that's kind of like
Okay.
my earliest, like, I guess, memory of actually like using it. And at the time, like, I mean, my mom would at least tell me they were good. You know, I wasn't like editing them or anything.
Right.
I would just take photos.
Thousands
Yeah.
of clients that say they're good too. So
True.
Yeah.
Did you take classes like throughout high school, or like did you go to college for video
No,
production?
it's
Or
funny. I kind of went the opposite route. I was always like, I was working at Costco, like right out of high school. Worked there for 3 years, stocked the freezers and coolers. So I was up at 4 a.m. and then I would go to college at 11 a.m. So I was from 4 a.m. to about 7 p.m. I was working and then going to class. So I went to Lomondale Community College. Yeah.
enough hours in the day for you.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
well, I
real.
was paying for it for my, by
on your
myself.
own.
So,
Yeah. So
Um,
you gotta hustle.
yeah. So I was just working. I don't know. You need more hours in the day. Just wake up earlier.
That's true.
So if you wake up 1 hour earlier,
You get so much done, dude.
just
It's
think about that. If you wake up 1 extra hour earlier, you get 7 extra hours in a week. That's basically another work day.
I've never actually heard it said that way. That's crazy to think about that.
Yeah.
If you just wake up 1 more hour earlier, that's huge. Like that's
Or two,
See, for
you know?
me, you
Yeah.
have to sleep to wake up. I don't go to sleep.
what time do you go to bed?
No.
You're dumb.
Yeah,
What?
I'm
he
in bed.
lives over
I'm
in the
in
office
bed.
right now.
Yeah,
on the phone.
I'm always on the phone. I'm
Yeah.
in bed at
Okay, yeah, same here.
What time do you normally like wake up?
4.
Before?
4:30.
So you're already like up early
I can always shade up.
or half hour.
3 is rough.
But yeah, that was me though.
It's a different game.
3 is
It's a
rough.
different ball game. Yeah, because I mean,
You got to
I
get
was-
accustomed to that.
I was waking up at 4 a.m. to go work
Okay.
at Costco, and I was stocking. So like literally in the summer, I'd be going to work
Oof.
in like like jacket, cargo pants, boots, because it was 10 below in those
Yeah,
areas, so,
dude.
and then store would open. I'd go change in the shorts or whatever, and that was the grind for 3 years. And then I was like, I need to do something to I've always had that creative bug in me.
Okay,
so,
yeah, I feel
yeah.
you. Yeah.
yeah,
Creative itch.
yep.
And then, so after college, and then after college, what did you do?
Sorry, I didn't even finish. So yeah, I went to college for computer programming for 2 years.
Okay.
And I didn't even finish.
Oh, no, not
So
wrong.
I did about a year and a half.
Okay.
And then that's when I started to get actually involved with filming and stuff. And
Okay.
instead of going, I mean, I did go to class for a year and a half, and I did okay,
Mhm.
but just being boots on the ground, hands on with stuff is what I wanted, and I just couldn't sit in the classroom anymore.
I'm the same way.
I don't like
Yeah.
I think all of us
I'm the
are-
same way. I can't.
Entrepreneurs can never succeed.
No.
So I gotta go.
It's always
But it's like a balance. Like it's my go
Yeah.
go. Everybody's go is 100% different.
Yep. So yeah.
Okay.
Did that, and then after college, I mean, I was working as a computer programmer, so I was a website developer for 2 years, and then I started doing hardware stuff with Macs and computers, and just kind of the background.
That's
So I
cool.
was always around the technology, and then when it came to cameras and video equipment and what do you need to edit a video, what do you need to render a video, what kind of specs does your computer need to have, things like that, I just knew. So
That's legit.
it just kind of
Just
worked.
came hand in hand.
Yep. And then, are we going into mortgages yet?
No, I think that's next.
photography. Go on to the next subject here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for go on from 2020 to 2023, fast forward to today, everything that's coming out with AI and everything, are those tools that are able to help you?
It's funny you say that. Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so they can
Not for everything. I will say there are certain tasks that used to be tedious that are now just easy.
One
Like I
click
can
and
just
you're done.
exactly. So one of the things, I mean, like AI generated captions, like on TikTok, and for example, like you can generate captions.
Yeah.
When you were editing a video, there wasn't like any software that used to do that, so you have to type them all in manually. So
Right.
like us talking or coming up with captions was manually.
Take forever.
Yeah, but like on
That's
phone,
crazy,
CapCut, there's
actually.
a lot of apps that would generate
That-
captions for you.
Yeah.
But if you were filming on a camera, taking the SD card out, putting it on a computer to edit it, there was more steps to doing that. And-
Way more steps.
Yeah.
Mainline the whole thing.
Yep. So now you basically just have your video. If there's somebody talking, you can literally just hit generate captions and choose your font, choose your size, choose how many letters, whatever you want on there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And
I didn't know that.
spit
That's
it out
super sick.
within, 10, 15 seconds, depending on how long the video is.
Okay.
So are you seeing more, and you don't need to answer this
Mhm.
at all, but are you seeing more profit for less work that you're having to do because of all
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like you can't let yourself go like that.
Mhm.
You have to. The reason why somebody hires you is because they like your work or they respect you for whatever reason
Right.
it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you start to get on a path of just either outsourcing stuff or using AI to like lower your standards of quality, then
Word will get. I
you're
mean,
missing the whole point. So I feel
true.
like
There's
Right.
no art to it at that point. It's
Exactly.
just-
Creativity's gone.
yeah, and there are a lot of good tools out there, but I think just utilizing them probably 20-30% within your business, but then still keeping the whole reason why people are working with you in the first place alive.
Right. Totally.
So
That makes total sense.
Yeah, and that's what they are. They're just tools. It can't be your whole platform.
yeah, they're basically, the way I look at it is it's ways to better do my job that I'm like already kind of working on. So it's like I know that me typing captions can take an hour sometimes, and now I can do it in 10 seconds, and then I can then deliver that video sooner to the client.
Time is money. I
So,
mean,
sure.
when you systems at the end of the day, when you find systems that work perfectly for your business, things just become more efficient, and that's
You're
just
more confident too in your work.
oh, totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
Confidence is a huge thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
If you are not confident, you can't talk to somebody about your product or what your business idea is. You're not
Yeah.
gonna go. You could be the best photographer in the world,
Yeah.
man. But
Yep.
if you can't put your name out there, you got nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, it's branding and networking.
I was
That's
gonna say that's a good segue into the
Yeah.
mortgage.
yeah. I was gonna say
So,
let's. So how'd you get there?
So how I got into mortgages was a little bit different. So I was doing videos, and so this was like 2020, right? So
Yeah.
I was working at a different company, and so a lot of companies at that time just had a lot of issues. When my company filed bankruptcy, so then just a lot of things happened with like my pay was cut, my hours were cut, and I just wasn't like making money.
Okay.
So then I was like, okay, I need to make some YouTube videos talking about finances and like, because I felt like I was okay during
Right.
that time
Mhm.
because of precautions that I would take with
For
the
sure.
money and being smart with it. So I was like, why don't I just make a YouTube channel and just talk about how I bought a house at 22 years old.
I remember
and,
this,
like,
yeah.
Just figuring, so I put that video out, and then there was a realtor at the time. So his name was Ryan Beardsley. We'll shout him out. So he was with Remax Advantage Plus, and so he was my realtor in 2019 when I bought my house.
Okay.
And then so I put the video out on YouTube, and I was talking about the whole home buying experience, and then I did like a refi as well. So I talked about that experience.
For sure.
And so he saw that video that I posted up on Facebook, and then he's like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, what do you know about this? What do you know about real estate? Kind of put me in check. But like everything that I was saying was like, spot
On point. Yeah.
And then so he introduced me to a company I was at, Fairway.
Yeah.
He introduced me to the branch manager there, and he was interested in doing video. And so at that time I was like, I've done a lot of video like kind of for myself and whatever, but never like got hired on to do it for a company. So I started, I guess, with Fairway making videos for them. And then eventually the
Word.
branch manager was just like, hey, why don't you just get your license and work here? And I was like, well, I never thought about that. 'Cause I've always just been a videographer. I've always just been that guy. I didn't
Yeah.
see myself in mortgages at the time. Like I just didn't.
For sure.
know
Oh,
that was an
interesting
option.
how you fell forward into that.
Yeah.
Dude,
so
crazy.
so then I went and, obviously there was a test you have to take. You have to do a bunch of classes, and you have to pass like the exam, which is pretty hard. So then it took me, I don't know, 8 months to do that, because you have to like find a class to go into for
For the final test and
Yep.
stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, did you have recurrency or?
So yeah, you do it every year. So you
Okay.
pay your fines for whatever state that you're licensed in and whatever. But yeah, so then I was still kind of doing my video stuff, and that's kind of where it was a good strength. Like it was like a double-edged sword because it was good for me to get in front of a lot more people and on a different platform.
Yeah.
But then also, like I was talking about earlier, I just couldn't sustain doing two businesses.
It's
So,
tough, man.
yeah.
Like you said, you have one that you're extremely passionate about that led you into the
Mhm. Yeah.
lending and mortgage field,
Mhm.
and one that's paying your bills.
Yep.
Right. So
Right.
at what point do you decide to jump off one ship onto another?
It's tough. Yeah, it was a very hard decision, and I just found myself starting to get like unmotivated with real estate just
Mhm.
because there's a lot of factors that go into it.
It's a roller coaster.
Not to mention any, but just when the market's slow, I
You're
needed
sitting
to
there
go
like this,
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the only way I could do that was with video. But then sometimes I'd book myself so much with video that I'd like have less time for
For real estate.
the real
Yeah.
estate stuff, and I was still working,
Mhm.
full time for both of them. It was just I was doing
Not
it for
100%
years and-
in both cup.
Oh yeah, working
Yeah.
18 hours a day.
It's so hard,
Yeah.
bro. Not enough time. Okay.
So yeah, and then I guess like anybody can do it. It's just if you're a licensed loan officer, anybody can write a loan. But it's like what makes you different than
The rest.
30 other lenders that are hitting me up
Well, I
asking
think
me for
that's
copy.
I think that's
You
any sort of position you're in.
Yeah.
That deals with sales.
You really have
What
to just
sets you apart?
exactly what sets you apart, what kind of value you bring that's different than what the other guy can do.
Right. I mean, that is very crucial, but I also feel like I'm a firm believer like agent or loan officer, you all do the same thing. So it's, do I know you or have I seen you? Or like I think like I'm a huge thing on like branding. Like you have to be out there like omnipresent. Like you got to be out there nonstop because like everybody's doing it. So like here, like I don't think honestly anybody's doing anything special. They might have maybe more money for branding or things like that, but I think at the end of the day, it's that they get their business out there. They're out there connecting with people and doing 100%. Mhm.
Speed bump. Say you didn't have a month of anyone calling you for videos or pictures or anything like that.
Yeah.
You start to lose that momentum. You start to lose hope in doing it, and you're like, well, I'll just go back to doing lending, and then you don't have love in that anymore.
Right.
Well, that's
Defeated.
the tough
You're,
part.
yeah.
Because like with real estate, it's like I think from like I had closings pretty much every month that I was there,
Mhm.
and then there was a time where I had one closing in December, and this is like this of 22, then
Okay.
one in December, and then one in January. And then I didn't have anything for like February, March. I was like looking at my pipeline, and I was like still doing the work. Like I was
Mhm.
still out there trying to meet people, but then agents weren't even doing that much business. To the
No.
point,
No, they slew down.
it did slow down, and that's what made it like kind of tough. Because then I was like, oh, I need money. I can go make videos and
Right.
support myself this way. And
100%.
I don't know. It was more of a proof of concept, I guess.
That's a great
Well,
proof of
it seemed
concept
like
is
everything sort of fell the way it should have for you to kind of be successful with what you're doing.
Because I feel like if I wasn't on the mortgage side, I wouldn't.
met
or,
killer
You wouldn't have
connection.
I wouldn't
met
have-
certain people. You wouldn't have made certain connections.
I don't think it would have taken
I
off
think
as
it-
fast.
Yeah. So you gotta, almost
Because
appreciate
I will say this. So like when I did leave, there was a lot of like agents that I was talking to, and so they had their lender, they had their person, their go-to guy or gal, and once I left, they're like, "Oh, so you're not a lender anymore?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay. So I can work with you now." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So out
That,
of
but that's a real thing.
it
Like
is real.
agents be like that too.
Yep.
I'll be honest. We're gonna cut that
Yeah.
shit. Needs to stop. It doesn't matter what field you're in. I mean, maybe unless like your brokerage or like your yeah, I was like, if there's rules for sure, but like collaboration, there's so many ways that like I feel like you could be talking to other loan officers, like, yo, how are you acquiring shit? Like, let's chop it up and find ways to collaborate to bring more business, or even like go out to like. I hate that like so many people be like that though. They're like, oh, you're with
They keep the cards close to their chest.
For sure.
Yeah, and that,
I get it,
like,
yeah.
loyalty, all that stuff is like, if you're a realtor, you have this lender for 5 years, and like, there's no reason to like have another lender, right?
No, not at all.
But now
I mean,
it's like,
That's not necessarily true.
no, I would say it's not true.
Yeah.
things. I mean, for sure,
but-
things can happen. But I'm like, I get the loyalty. Like, I get the loyalty. Like, I'm the whole thing. I want as many tools and opportunities because, like, say, like, this lender didn't like this project, or like they did, or their rates were way different, and this person's way different. Well, I mean, I'd like to have more people in my pocket because now I know, like, okay, this is where you stand on this project, and this is where they stand on this project, and now I got.
But that's the difference between a successful entrepreneur, versus somebody who just lies down and takes what life gives them, right?
Well, and that's
For
the thing, is, like,
sure.
not everyone's thinking that way.
Yeah.
And I just know that because I dealt with it from experience. Where I had to schedule at least 20 meetings a week,
Mhm.
and I wouldn't always land them. But it's like when you're sitting there sending messages out to people,
Dude,
and you get responses where like, "What are you gonna do that my lender's not doing?" Or
all the time.
things
Yeah, I mean,
like-
we do the
just
same
things like
thing.
that for an example, or just hey, I'm good over here. I got 4 lenders that I got in my pocket,
sure.
whatever. So
I think the excuse is the same in every sort of industry, just
For
worded
sure.
differently. Because we get the same thing of, I already have an offer.
Or I already work with tons of it.
I work with
Yeah,
investors,
or I work
you
with
know.
tons of investors already. And like I get, yeah, I mean, just another opportunity. Say your investors didn't want it, but I do, or vice versa. Like, I mean, you never know. Like, or at least keep me in your back pocket. I mean, it's not gonna. I mean, at the end of the day,
The way I look at being an entrepreneur is trying to be like Batman's utility belt. I have a videographer now for all my listings.
Yep.
Right? I have a
100%.
somebody who pressure washes houses for whenever I need that.
You
never know.
I was gonna say
Plumber.
everything. Like, yo, you got a problem, we got it solved
Yeah.
For everything you can think of, I got it.
for sure,
Yep.
100%.
So anytime a client
To crazy
I
jobs
wanna be
too,
a
like
one-stop-
weird things.
Yeah, I want to be a one-stop shop. I have somebody who will mobily detail your car at your work. It's nothing to do with houses, but I got a guy.
Yeah, to everything to like a guy who can fix a watch.
I literally need that in my life right
Yeah.
now. I was gonna say I literally need that right now. Yeah, and we also heard that laugh over there too. No, what were you saying?
Oh no, I was just gonna say sidebar. You should get your windows tinted.
Facts.
I saw that and I was like, that car
Dude.
it looks good as it is, but
It
with
needs
the tint,
Talking about it
for
since I met.
you're driving in a fishbowl. You got this blacked out Mercedes.
I'm
and it's
driving Dude.
Cody's face.
just- yeah.
dude. I know.
Yeah, it's funny. But
I- Yeah, you're right. You're right. I do need it.
ain't that, it's not that expensive. A couple $100.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it's not expensive at all. I'll be honest. I just haven't.
It's more busy, dude. It's just doing
Yeah.
taking extra time because there's a lot of things that I want to do that I'm like trying to find more time today to do.
Well, I believe it comes down to prioritizing it.
Yeah.
Is wrapping the car or tinting the car on the top of the list.
No, not right now. Selling all of it. Yeah.
Same with you. The first thing you want to do when you wake up, when you're doing lending, write a loan or take a picture of the sunset. Probably
Right.
take a picture of the sunrise.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I never wanted to be the lender that was doing like a videographer, but I never wanted to be the videographer that does lending. So it's like I wanted to be one or the other, but I didn't
sure.
realize that right away.
Yeah.
Because like when I was a lender, I did this gig at Target Field or Target Center, and the girl that I was with, she was like, not that like dating, but like the girl who was like contracting me out, she was like, "So is this your full time gig?" I'm like, "No, I'm actually in real estate. I do mortgage lending." And it's just like in my head when I said that, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's good that it's
You know?
it's good that it rubbed you wrong though. In my eyes.
Identify.
Yeah,
It
you
was
like
almost like I'm hiring you to do this job, but then you're telling me that
You're
this isn't
promoting
where
some
your,
other-
like focus is.
yeah, side.
100%.
Yeah. So it just, obviously like a year into that, I like realized it, and I was like, because I was actually trying to be like a good mortgage lender. Like
For sure. Oh
you know,
yeah.
I was trying to make it. I was trying to do everything I could possibly do, but then I just had this video in the back of my head, and then it's just
What was the final straw where you're like, all right, dude, 100% in. I'm going. I'm done.
So, it's kind of funny. But there's a couple of different things, but like one of the funniest things that I think about when I was like driving to the office, the song "Trip Too Hard," like don't stand too close. Yeah, So he's like, I don't care where I go as long as I get paid. And then I thought about it like deep. And I was like, as long as I can make money and like pay my bills and live the life I want to live, it doesn't matter where I go. Like, so I was like thinking about it that way, and I'm like, it sounds really, dumb, but I was
Cliche.
like thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, I can like travel and I can like have my laptop working and like just things like that. Where, little moment that I just remember, like when I was about to like kind of make the decision, but I think it was like just a slow market. To like put it in layman's terms, it was just like
No, for
market.
sure.
I wasn't like getting any business. My pipeline was drying up. I was like, I need money. I got 2 kids. I got a family. I got to support myself, and I've had savings and stuff, but I just don't like dipping into that.
Right.
So as long as I can keep a consistent income coming in, and it was like the month I left, it was just like, holy crap, I just did so well, and then it was like I solidified it, and then I did it the next month, and it was like
okay.
But it is variable, it is like
for sure.
Things, but
I have to ask, I have to budget here because I know how I feel coming here every day. What is it like waking up knowing that you found what you were put on this earth to do?
It's weird. It's weird. I don't know.
To people pay you money for something that you love to do.
It's surreal, honestly.
Surreal is a good
word. It feels
word.
like a dream. It really does feel like a dream. Voice cracked. Yeah. It just feels like a dream because like you can wake up. Because I remember when I was a lender and I would like wake up and like check my phone or like, it's just like, all right, what do I got to do today? I got this, and this. But it's like as a videographer, it's like I have all my organization, I got my folders, and just like I have my systems in place at work, and then I can kind of go about my day. And like as long as I'm getting things done and edited and making money, it's like
I'm chill, baby.
I know, so,
dude. Exactly.
It's when I was doing like full-blown traditional real estate, not doing investment at all.
Yeah,
I pick up side jobs when it was slow and stuff. And I'm the worst employee. The worst because I do not want to go there, and I make it abundantly clear I don't want to be there.
Yep.
So it's just like it kills me inside. So knowing that financially I'm well enough to just keep coming in here, doing something that I love with people who I care about and have fun with. This is my life. This is like
what it's about who you're surrounding yourself with. If you're surrounded by grinders, people who like get the hustle and they're like willing to do it, like that's what you need. You can't be around people who like have
misery loves company.
Yeah,
and if you set yourself as somebody who's miserable, they will bring you down.
Yep.
And that's what business do. If you have a bad business idea, bad business partner, bad business product, you won't know how to go.
No, seriously. And like, I guess to segue off of that too, it's like cool because like, my mom is also doing like not videography, but she works for herself as well. She's like one of the biggest resellers on Poshmark.
Oh, nice.
It's weird because like it just happened. And so like I'm like looking at her accounts, I'm like, she's got like 300,000 followers and like all this stuff, and she's making good money off of it.
Poshmark.
Yeah, I was like, that's
an e-commerce store, right?
Yep, it's like e-commerce. It's like eBay, Mercari.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. So she kind of does her thing.
What is her market on? Like what? Like does she have her own niche? Like what she's?
So what she does is she goes to like Savers, to like Sierra, like all these like companies or I guess businesses that like TJ Maxx, like you can get a Nike shirt for
she's
$5.
Of Poshmark.
Basically,
yeah. She goes to garage sales.
So she has thousands of listings on her like Poshmark, and so she can,
that's
sell
sick.
Everything, and so
that's sick.
I think it's cool because a lot of my family's like seeing that, my mom and I are kind of doing our own thing and making money, and then a lot of my family sees it and they just don't understand it.
Well, is it a lot of older family that doesn't understand?
Yeah, older family, and then I got people that are like my age, like my sister and stuff, and they want to like kind of work for themselves, but they just don't know what to do or like how to get there.
That's good. We're gonna go on to some questions here, and you're gonna answer those questions.
Okay.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going.
Oh yeah.
So we got an itinerary to follow here, guys.
Yeah, we got itinerary, guys.
The biggest thing that I was just gonna say is for entrepreneurs, when you do want to decide to take that step, don't think about it. Don't overthink about it because you'll think yourself right out of it.
That's true.
Just jump in.
That's true.
Figure it out as you're going. Everyone else is doing it. It's like how I was told by my parents how raising a kid would be. Is no one knows what they're doing. Just do the best you can and just have a pure heart and be honest, and everything works out.
Yeah. I had 2 kids by the time I was 24. So, but same with my wife. But it literally at 22 years old when I had a new baby, I'm like, man, I gotta step up. It's a
Yeah.
different grind.
Oh, I bet, yo, it'd be the most terrifying. To me, I feel like I'd be terrified. I gotta keep this little sucker alive.
But that's what you think is like, oh, you got kids and a family, and then imagine having a business to run
Oh,
on top
yeah.
of all that. So it is a lot. You really have to figure out.
Yeah, you gotta find that balance.
The work-life balance.
And it's funny.
work
So
life,
you
yeah.
said priorities. It's like that's such a big thing for me because it's like, what's priority number one for
Mhm.
you know when I'm waking up? You know, get the kids ready, or is it make? You know what I mean? Like there's things. It's
Editing a
different.
photo
Yeah.
for a deadline.
Yeah.
No,
Or
totally.
video. I got to get a video out. You know what?
And I'll be
10
the first to admit, man, I've definitely put priorities of work before my family to
Oh yeah.
try to
I mean,
get
it
us to the
happens,
next step. But
Yeah.
I never want to miss out on that either.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, I'm a big thing is like, I think sacrifice, man. Sacrifice is like if you're obviously in communication with your family and stuff, like we want to get to a life that we want, and sometimes that takes sacrifice. Yeah, if people like, I'm trying to retire before I hit 40, like I want to enjoy as much life as I can because like I want to be old and not do nothing, or like I don't want to start like enjoying it, or like like I want to go travel the world right now, Facts, dude. Nothing's
You pay
nothing.
your own way, and the good thing is with the media field, with the real estate field, there's people who have paved the way for us already. We're not going off an unbeaten path.
Yeah, but
So
something
there's-
that's never been done before.
Yeah.
There's lanes that you can stay in, but to get creative, you're gonna have to swerve off a little bit,
Yep.
try it, and if it doesn't work, correct yourself.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
It's the best thing.
You want to get to these questions?
I'm trying to remember them because I was trying to flow with it, but then I was like, all right,
I got a couple that
shoot.
fire them off.
Yeah, go.
Awesome. So on do you ever think going forward, like, man, do I wish I would have spent more time nurturing my business before I just jumped right in, or go for future people who wanted to take the step into becoming an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
What is something that you looked at where in the moment you were hesitant because of the decision of changing fields, but looking now, it's not that big of a deal? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally. It's really hard to like pinpoint it because I didn't know what I didn't know. So it wasn't like my goal was obviously so before I even tell you what my dream was, my dream, what I thought I was gonna be was a professional boxer. Like all throughout like junior high school, I thought I was gonna be a professional boxer fighting in Vegas. Like that was like my thing. And then I got
You fought amateur though.
Yeah, no, I did fight competitively for a while, for
Mhm.
years and years, 10, what I don't know how, it's been 10 years at least, but as long as I was fighting.
Mhm.
But that was like my focus at the time. And so then I was always like watching YouTubers. Like YouTube was like kind of like my next goal, like to try to make content videos on YouTube.
Got it.
But I never saw like
you boxing?
no, just
Oh,
of things in general. I actually like started with pranks.
Okay.
Bro, yes.
It didn't last very long.
Yes.
But it was a good like kind of icebreaker to build up self-confidence for me. And then
Dude,
I moved
for
into
sure.
I started streaming on Twitch as like a gamer
Okay.
and
What?
YouTube, and I was like making gaming content essentially. And I did that for like 2 years. I mean, while I was working and stuff, it was just like
That's
everything that I'm doing, I have to figure out how to monetize it. But it never did I see video as like this is gonna be my way to freedom,
To live.
essentially, to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
make money. And I wanted it so bad, but I didn't know how to get there. So kind of with mortgages, it was kind of like, all right, I can actually get there now.
How funny is it that mortgages is what brought you into it?
I
It has
don't know.
nothing
It
to
doesn't
do with
yeah,
video
I know.
whatsoever.
I know.
But he got hired first doing video for the mortgage
Right.
company.
Yep. Yeah. So I
So
went
it's
through
just
that
like off a
part.
gig through.
But to
What,
be
you're-
hired for video, I would never put that together. Like if I was running a mortgage company, I would be like, we need some video.
Well, I talked to a guy
Facts.
today, and he has contracts with dealerships. Like, and he makes
Yeah, that's
videos
sick.
for cars and dealerships, and like does walkarounds for like the new 2024, Kia Telluride or whatever car it might be. And it's like, cool. I'm like, how did you even get in that? And he's like, well, I started as a photographer for the dealership. I'm like, huh? I'm like, I would never have thought about that 5 years ago. Like to
Yeah.
go apply at a dealership as a photographer. You know what I mean? Like things like that.
I
But
used
it's
to work
cool.
at a car lot, and I had to
Yeah.
take the pictures myself. And I had one of those old iPhones.
Yeah, iPhone.
Dude, it was. I
4?
think it was like an iPhone 4 or 5. the square
That's funny.
ones, the first square body ones.
Okay.
It was,
Before they made
and
them
we had to
rounded.
take 32 pictures in each car.
32,
Yeah.
huh?
So I mean, yeah, there's a niche for it.
Yeah, no, there definitely
to
is. But
source
it's
it out
just,
to somebody else, I would have loved that.
and I guess my point to that is like you're doing all these things throughout your life, and like you never really realize what's gonna actually hit, and like what's gonna be profitable, what's gonna like make you happy.
Yeah, for
to
sure.
actually do them, you know. So I feel like I couldn't be, like I said, a successful videographer if I wasn't in real estate before or kind of during,
You know,
and that's just how I felt about it.
but looking back now,
Yeah.
do you think that this is obviously what you were meant to be? So it didn't matter what
Yeah.
path you were to take, eventually you would have ended up at
Yep.
this finish line.
I think so, but it's weird to think about in a sense of like it's always been on my mind, but
Mhm.
it's never something I was doing like full time. But I always wanted to do it. I always wanted to pursue it. I just never could figure it out, and I
Huh.
eventually figured it out. But yeah,
That's amazing.
Yeah,
And
that's
how old are you now?
I'm 26.
26.
Yeah.
So roughly 3-4 years old, like where you were dancing with it, and then
Yeah,
really,
I mean,
Well,
really,
sorry,
like from a
well,
serious
yeah, since
like
third
standpoint.
grade. Excuse me,
Yep.
you've been playing with cameras and things like that, but for more of a serious, it's been 4 years, and that's a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
I mean, when people start their like full blown businesses, and I'm assuming you, I mean, how many? Obviously, this would be so random, but how many clients in those 4 years?
Oh boy,
I mean, hundreds,
it's a lot.
thousands.
I mean, I don't think thousands. I think there's definitely like a few retainers, you know, that are kind of like the monthly things that, you know,
Were you just
whenever I do X amount of work and it's $500, $1,000, another voice crack. I don't know. But yeah, so like retainers, but I've come to try to like make it not more exclusive, but more exclusive in a way, because
Mhm.
I don't want to like price myself out for one. I don't want to become spread myself too thin. You know, I
For
don't want to be doing 30 listings in a month, and I'm just, you know, well, I guess that's way more than a day. I'm at 30 listings in a week, but that's a lot.
And it's just
You
you
know.
right now, right?
It's just me, and then I potentially have one other guy that I'm talking to. So
Is there anybody you want to ask him? Accept an application?
yeah, apply
Um,
my website.
No, because that's a whole other game changer. Teaching somebody to do the same thing that you do
Mhm.
to the level that you're at.
And it's tough with that because as a videographer, you're like kind of a creative at heart. You kind of want to edit the videos the way you want to edit them.
Well,
you
right,
wanna shoot
right.
The way you want to shoot. And so, like the guy I talked to today was kind of like, yeah, I kind of have to learn your eye. And you know, I thought about it. I'm like, no, I don't want you to. I want you to like be the best version of you in
Hmm.
whatever field this is. Like my goal isn't to like make all this money off of you or
Right.
whatever. Like I want to
Help
have
you
this be
get
a
to the next
collaboration
stage.
and
Yeah.
experience. Yeah, and like that's what I think is so valuable, and that's why I think people will keep working with you.
Yeah,
For
you're
sure.
Remember
original.
you. Yeah.
You're not trying to
Authentic,
copy
yo.
them.
Because
Yeah, you wanna
I mean,
be
there's
a-
probably at least one or two people in your life that you could probably think of that believed in you more than you believed in yourself.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And you always remember those people.
I have such a big
For sure.
head.
So
He knows I have
I mean, at
such
least
a-
I know I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
So-
100%. All right. Well, I got one more question. It's gonna be a tough. Or I got two. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You got time.
I feel like a slob.
I know. I
I'm
was just
sorry,
started
man.
doing that too.
What advice do you have for people that are at that point right now that, you know, like, all right, like, I'm sick of this 9 to 5, or I'm sick of my job. Like, I've had this passion or whatever hobby, what people can call it, forever, and I want to take steps in making this a reality.
I think the biggest thing is like how much do you believe in yourself? Like how
Mindset.
much are you willing to bet on yourself? Like if you had to like put $10,000 on a credit card and bet on yourself that you're gonna pay that back in 2 months, 3 months, whatever it might be. It's kind of like that in a sense. Like I always look at it that way, where you just have to. Yeah, well, I guess if you put $1 into it, but
Yeah, that's,
you know what I'm saying. Like that's a
never
big.
looked at it that way, but that's a very interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, and like somebody told me that, and it just stuck with me ever since. Like
I like that.
because
I
that's
really-
what I was doing for a long time. I was just putting stuff on credit cards and I was paying it off.
The
And it
American
just-
dream.
But then it just would get to a point where it's just like, okay, if you're putting, because I paid off a car and stuff, and it was really nerve wracking to, I don't know where I'm going with this, but just putting stuff on a credit card and believing yourself to pay it back. That's kind of the way to look at it. And
That's
so
legit. I mean, that's a
the advice
great analogy. I mean, everybody in the world will grab a credit card.
Yeah.
Well, they're given to you at college.
You know,
It's,
you know what I'm
you know,
saying?
it's
So
the way to
like, but
look
if
at
you're
it,
willing
you
to take that risk right there, invest in yourself.
And the reason why I say that is because like when I started doing my when I started like my videography business like full time,
Mhm.
I told you, probably spent $10,000. Like
Right,
camera, lenses, audio equipment, and tripods.
It's
And I was
so
like,
expensive.
Did you overspend, overthinking? Like, I'm gonna need all this stuff. 'Cause, like,
No,
when
I don't even think you can probably overspend in that field. There's
Yeah.
always like
But
this
there's always-
crazy stuff,
There's
dude.
always levels to it.
For
obviously,
sure, yeah,
but
yeah.
When for me, because I can't speak on video, I have a horrible eye, so
Yeah.
I have no artistic taste whatsoever. But for real estate, I bought everything you could think of. I was probably Etsy's #1 customer for
And
customizable
Wish.com.
realtor stuff.
And wish.com.
Poshmark, sorry. But yeah, I was buying T-shirts that had like, I'm your neighborhood realtor stuff. Like I went
just everything.
Yeah, anything that was about my profession, I was purchasing.
Yep.
So for you to spend $10,000 on equipment for just starting off, putting it on a card, betting on yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, be honest. Like this is a tough question. How many times did you fail until you?
Oh, I
succeeded?
failed a lot of times in my life, but
I love that
I'll put it
question.
this way. So like, I guess leading up to videography is like I always had equipment the last few years, but like what I did was like, okay, if I'm going full time, I got to upgrade to this camera, this lens, this level of quality.
Quality
and I
that
knew
you
that
want.
going into it. But there have been times where I like maybe bought something like a gimbal for my phone or something like that. There's $400 that I'll just never use, you know. So like things like that, but.
I've done
Right.
that.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
T-shirts for days.
Yeah, I was like, I
You
got.
just don't know what you don't know until you realize, okay, I don't need to buy that. But at least I always look at it as a tuition cost, like tuition fee. You spend $200 to learn that you don't want that. Or you
You
don't.
justify everything. You.
Mark got an answer for everything.
Your wife must like love arguing with you about finances.
Oh, it's. We'll get there. So I always, yeah.
Tater Tot handles all yours.
But I feel like that's just how you justify things, right? Because I feel like
Bro, you okay.
everything in life makes sense. It's all
Facts.
perception. Think about that.
We can go down a
So,
rabbit
you know what I'm
hole.
saying is like, okay, if you aren't happy with this, like, why? Well, it's your feelings. Why aren't you happy? It's easier to change yourself than to change the
100%.
situation with someone else. But okay, sorry. The 10,000.
Hey, fucking up.
So the question that you asked me, like,
Go
when I
ahead to
started-
clip that, because that right there, that's motivational right there.
Yeah. So like when I did put everything on a credit card, and it was like the thing is like I had money to buy it, but I wasn't comfortable doing that because I would be putting a lot more. Because $10,000 is a good chunk of change.
Oh, for sure.
So it's like, all right, do I just spend $10,000, own all this stuff in cash, or do I put it on a credit card and whatever? So anyway, long story short, I basically put everything on a credit card, and I was able to pay it off the next month.
So you bet on yourself.
But it was more of a, literally, I was selling stuff. I sold my old equipment, garage sale.
You created a whole entire business plan around it, and like that, like the bet and the card was part of the plan.
It was a calculated risk. You know,
100%.
Motivation essentially behind that was debt.
Yeah, because I don't like debt.
No one likes that.
But it's like, when you think about it, it's like, okay, there is, debt that people can be comfortable with, like a car payment or whatever. It's $200 a month for my car, $300 a month for my car, whatever. And they just kind of justify it because they don't want to pay the money. They want to go spend 20-30 grand.
For sure.
On top of it.
I mean, how many homies do you know in your life that are either working a 9 to 5 that they just hate, or they've been trying and talking about switching it up, but
A lot. But that was me at one point.
Another good.
we've all been there. Yeah, for
I
sure.
would say we've all been
And
there.
don't be afraid either, because you don't know what you're passionate about until you find it, right? Because
Yeah.
you didn't know videography was it until you found it. I didn't know real estate was it for me. So if you're going from, selling phones to, selling houses, cars, whatever it is, selling yourself or
Yep,
your business, whatever you need to do, don't be afraid to fail and then pick something else up that interests you.
And I think that's a big thing that people, they think that they fail and they
Fail for. I mean, yeah,
because they don't want to disappoint a boss or they don't want to,
yeah.
Look like they failed to their family or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just saying.
I mean, I hate failure. Everything's a learning opportunity. So either you cannot do it again or approach it with a different approach. I mean, but if you want to use the word failure, learn how to fail forward. Yeah.
You can do about failure. It's already happened.
Yeah.
You just can't make the same mistake twice.
Yeah.
You totally can, and if you do, that's okay. And then make them some more adjustments.
You shouldn't be making the same mistake twice.
Oh yeah, you're right. Like I meant
Yeah.
failing twice in the same field. Like I mean, it don't matter.
Don't give up if you're passionate
Yeah,
about
100%, 100%.
You
100%.
can make a lot of money doing things that you just don't realize you can make money doing.
And that you just said it. So many people they don't know.
I was talking with Tim. I don't know if you met.
I haven't met him, but I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. I've met him on social media.
We were driving, and the wall on the freeway that separates the houses from the frontage
yep.
road, that's an opportunity. If you like designing the art on the wall, you can get a job doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? You're
I
looking
do.
at me like
Yeah.
you don't know what I'm
No,
talking
I know
about.
exactly. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, there's designs on the wall that's like 3D. It kind of looks like this stuff back
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Design that and get paid for it.
Almost like a
And do you-
masonry style.
Yeah, I was gonna say you
Yeah.
probably need to be an
So
artist for
again,
that.
like, whatever you're doing, if it wasn't for taking videos and pictures of
Yeah.
real estate homes, I'm sure you would have found a way to do sporting events or, like you said, the car dealership.
Something. Yeah.
Something to scratch that itch.
But
The
this
itch isn't
happened-
going to go away.
Exactly.
Right,
And
that's the thing.
question
The
I
itch
always ask
will.
people to like kind of ignite their motivation. I just say, what do you like doing? And to better one up that, I say, if money was not an issue and you could do anything you wanted, like what would you do? Like, if
Right.
You just failure was not an option. Money was not an issue. What would you do? Would you open a tackle and bait shop? Would you open a car dealership? Would you pursue being a model? I don't know. Like,
Right.
and that's kind of like you get to people's
Get their attention a
Roots.
little
And
bit.
everyone's
Yeah.
success level is different.
Fact.
My
Facts.
success expectations is not the same as yours or anybody else's.
Mhm.
So don't think that you need to make $1 million a year, 10 million a year to be successful. Find your passion, do what you're happy with. That's your success.
Happiness is success. Like that's what like what I mean by that is like what like well, yeah, like if you're more than happy, provide for your family, do everything you want, you have a healthy, balanced life, and you guys only make $80K a year, that's fucking awesome. You did it. And that's great. You found what works for you. But like there might be I have to make $1 million a year and I'm not comfortable unless I make that.
Yeah.
That's
sometimes
and that
people,
yeah.
up their lifestyle to that
For
point
sure,
where,
for
like,
sure.
their bills are $20,000 a month. They're like, oh, I have to
bro,
pay
that shit
$20,000
happens
a
for
month.
real.
Yeah.
Keeps you working.
And that's
Cause you have to.
You have
Well,
to.
Yeah, like you
Yeah,
have to
every
keep
day.
up to afford that life.
You don't want to live that lifestyle. Like if you think that driving a G-Wagon Mercedes, wearing the nicest suits,
Yeah.
and have the new phone with no case is a lifestyle for you, then yeah, you're
Yep.
gonna have to,
Yeah.
keep hustling very hard. But
it's one of those things where, like, for me, I kind of need it to hurt a little bit.
Dude,
So that-
I'm the same
in
way.
the sense of
That's
like,
how I learned.
You can't. It basically gets rid of being comfortable. So like, if something is like bothering you, like let's just say you have a car payment or something, you're like, oh, I have this freaking car payment every month. I gotta pay it. I hate it.
Mhm.
And then like you get to the point where like, all right, I just want to pay this thing off in cash. But how
Yeah.
do you get there? It's just like you need to make more money. So
How?
yeah,
How?
it's like how do you get there?
get there?
And you have to like, it's hard to figure that out.
Yeah.
It is hard. And
I mean, because if it was
Find it
easy,
for
everybody would literally be doing
Yeah,
it.
and everyone makes the same amount of
Exactly.
money.
But like that's the thing, it takes time and do your due diligence.
It's all, like the best. I talk to a bunch of people.
Yep.
Like
Dude.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
300 to be exact.
Yeah. My KPIs.
Oh my God.
But no, outside the office, I talk to a lot of them, and the biggest thing that I keep saying is when you are talking about trying to build your company, it's all about investing in yourself,
Mhm.
right? Put time.
Betting
in.
on yourself,
Yeah, take
really,
time
yeah.
away from whatever you're doing. Read 30 minutes about it, right?
Yep.
Put 30 minutes. Of work into
Yes.
something. Don't just stay consistent and keep reading and not making a move. You have to be able to make them.
Yep.
And that's what
I mean, you're never gonna do it unless you make a move. Reading's not the move.
I enjoy gardening, right? I have a green thumb. I enjoy it. It's peaceful. So I know when I plant a seed, it's not going to just give me my flower.
Right.
I have to go out there every day, water it.
Yeah.
That's about it right now. But
I haven't gotten past watering it. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's another analogy. This is like you can't just plant a seed and expect a garden. You got to take time, care for it, build it
takes
every
years
day.
for them roots to grow, man.
Once you hit that where you can't grow anymore, you got to find a way to expand it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, so one more. The question is for people that are looking for videography work, photography work, and you don't have to be real estate. It can be any business.
I have been asked to do weddings, but they're nothing to do.
Yeah, he was not
I
thrilled.
don't say that with like sound disappointing. But you know what I mean, like
not come to this man for weddings.
No, it's one of those things where yes, I will do them.
Okay.
But it's, I guess to segue onto that question, I think part of why I'm successful too is like I don't always start with just making a video.
Right.
I try to figure out what your goal is with that video, what you're trying to do, and like how can we
Personalize it. Yeah.
That, right? So
I like that.
Yeah, not just making a listening video for the sake of making a listening video. Like actually have a point here. Like actually have a goal.
Yeah, 100%. Because I mean, what's the goal? You're trying to make a beautiful product video.
Yeah.
To sell it.
Or brand, because the big thing
brand
is ROI. Like, why should I pay you $2,000 to make a video? Like, how am I getting my money out of that? Versus like just spending $200 a day for a week or a month or whatever on Facebook ads.
Because I know there's so much more unveiled behind the cloth right here.
For sure. I mean,
because I've been with a lot of people, like businesses and like higher ups, and just learn and like try to figure out what's working, what's not working, and like, some people you would be surprised don't know what they're doing. What the hell they're doing.
I feel like actually, yeah, there's actually some higher ups that I'm like, yo, I don't know how you got there, but they just don't stop. They just don't.
Come on, Cody, what are you doing?
That's so funny. But to rewind it, how do people get in contact with you if they want to hire you?
They want to hire me. Facebook, Instagram, like all my DMs are open on all my platforms. My phone number.
Okay.
What's your panhandle?
My panhandle?
What is that?
Your name, your platform.
Yo, bro, damn, bro.
I was gonna say I've never heard it called a panhandle. I've always heard like your handle. I just heard that as handle.
I just heard it as. Yeah, I did not hear.
I'm pretty sure I heard G-Eazy say it.
Panhandle. It probably is right.
G-Eazy says it. Josh Bergen.
But yeah, I mean, Tyler St. Marie.
You gotta let me
reach me. Instagram, Facebook. I mean, even on TikTok.
LinkedIn.
Email, LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. Website, zenboltsmedia.com.
Okay.
You'll post on.
Yeah, I'll also post everything in the comments. Yep.
Basically, I don't want just one way to reach me. Like any possible outreach that I can get, whether it's Facebook Messenger, Instagram,
this
TikTok.
Man will give you his personal cell phone.
Yeah, and if you even see him in public, you know what he looks like.
I might be walking around with a camera. Yeah.
Then you definitely know.
Throw hands.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, yo.
Get you out to the cabin with the family, bring the kids.
Yeah.
Some good
Awesome.
videos.
Yes.
Take some family.
He's already got gigs ready.
I will say so. Like a lot of family too. They're like, "Oh, we're getting this barbecue," or like even friends are like, "Bring your camera." I'm like,
Well,
but it is to a point. Like I'll bring it. But
you don't want to bring work home with you. You don't.
That's the thing. If I'm trying to go hang out with the homies, like let me come hang out,
Yeah,
man. I don't want to work.
Grab my camera, put my 7200 lens on it. It's like 60 grand. I'm like sitting there walking around taking pictures of like my kids eating hot dogs. I'm like, just use your phone for that kind of stuff. Like there's a time and a place, but
so you have a threshold on things like you want to. Like obviously weddings, there's so many, so to fill all those orders is going to be very unrealistic. But for instance, like if I wanted to just say, look, I want a headshot, you'd say no.
I do headshots. I'm kind of veering away from them as far as like there'd be times where I go to like a real estate office, just post up like a backdrop and take the photos, and like it's fine, but it's just
There's no art to it.
No, there's no. It's like I said, it's like a task. It's just how quickly can you get through them, get these people their photos, turn around, you know, like post them on their Facebook, post them on their website, whatever. Like things like that. It's very objective. Like there's no like kind of thought or creativity. But for like portraits and stuff, that's where you can have some fun with it.
Right.
Like go outside, go to a park, you know, take photos, go to a brewery, get photos, like all that kind of stuff. That's stuff I will do. Now, like the stage headshots, I'm probably just gonna say no at this point. If somebody wants like a white background on their head, you know, I just
Like passport style.
yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. It's just because people are like they get mad at you for how they look.
Well, it is your fault.
Yeah.
No, it's
You
not.
know,
Oh my
it's
god.
Yep, it is my fault.
Oh.
Last
But anyway.
question.
I just had the last one.
Well, this is just off of the last one.
The last of the last.
The last of the
very
last.
last one. And this is more for me and my ego. If I were to pay you X amount of dollars, would you follow me around for X amount of time and videotape my life like a documentary?
Like a vlog.
No, like a documentary.
Like that's a
what I see.
vlog.
No.
Well,
Oh,
when I
what?
video logging versus documenting is different.
Yeah, Cody.
But
My bad.
well, okay,
Sheesh.
same concept, okay, but different. Same but different.
You're right, but you're wrong.
I
You're
mean,
right,
you
but
have
you're
to be there and film when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
That's.
wrong. Hey, people do that on TikTok. They just anyway. That's another.
I'd say
Would that be a
that's
project you would take on? Have you ever
that's
done something?
I
pricey.
would do that. It's funny because I had somebody do that for me actually when I was working a 3-day festival.
Shut
and I was
up.
like backstage meeting artists and stuff, and so like I
You
was filming
did
the whole
a film.
time.
You did behind the scenes of you.
Yeah,
Sick.
But that's what I want to do is I want to create. We don't maybe not get too.
Yeah, that's not break. No. We're not gonna.
You were videotaping. Somebody was videotaping you videotaping.
Yeah, I'm
somebody
on
else.
stage with these artists performing. I'm taking video of them, and I'm telling this
There's
guy,
another video.
Bro.
me taking video of them,
That's-
so I can have behind the scenes
Yes.
footage and post on
That's
YouTube,
what-
TikTok.
that's what you did.
Yeah, so
But that works.
Yeah.
That
it
works
does.
for branding for you.
Yep.
Oh, that's the way to
There
go.
was a time, so even like locally too, there's this band Hairball. They're like
I've heard of Hairball.
Yeah, they're a big tribute band.
I was gonna say they do covers and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
They had a thing out at Bayfront. I think they had like 10,000 people or something. It was a lot of people. But anyway,
I think my
so
boy,
did,
Mosey,
filming
Jeff,
for a resort that had Hairball, and I'm like backstage, and like there's multiple other artists and like musicians.
That's
not
sick.
all like some people like country singers
For
from like
sure.
Nashville. Like people are good. And I'm like sitting there like running through the crowd like up on the front. I'm like filming, but then I turn the camera on myself, and I'm like running through.
That's so cool, yo.
And then there was another time when I was on stage and there was like fireworks behind me, and I'm like turned around. There's like the drummer, the guitarist, and like
That's
I'm, like,
dope.
so like things like that I'm trying to do, but I'm like it would be easier if I just had somebody. So
Do it, yeah.
so yes, I mean that would be something I'd be interested in because I'm trying to do a lot of that stuff, like more lifestyle,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
also like doing the work. But
We
I
should
think
talk off camera and do something for the Keegley group.
Oh,
I mean yeah, I mean, I'm down to
100%.
help and support it, you know. So
I'm 100.
We'll talk.
All right, but yo, for real, thanks for hopping on the first episode, of season 2. This was a good episode to kick it off. I think like so many gems were dropped, and it's just fun to learn more about local business owners that like hustle inspires us. You know, like I'm inspired now to like go and get it just for the fact that like how you went and gone and get it. You know,
Iron shot.
that's the best way to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's not
Hanging out-
overnight.
Yeah, hanging
Yep.
with people in your caliber with the same mindset who aren't, going to hang on your coattails and just have you carrying them to the top.
Yep.
But to be around people who understand that
For sure.
it's not an overnight success. You have to
Mhm.
dedicate your 20s,
Mhm.
Exactly.
30s, your 50s.
You're 50 and then 63.
I'm
Yeah.
an old one now. Hey,
But no,
You have to
it's-
want better for people. Like I'm not gonna
That's
keep
the-
going long, but I feel like
that's
a lot of people want to keep trade secrets to themselves.
no.
Like a lot of people don't know
yeah.
how to do real estate photos. They don't understand bracketing. They don't understand the software you use. There's certain things, and I'm like, I'll just tell you how to do it. But like, there's nothing that you can't find out on Google or YouTube.
Bro, we now my entrepreneur is gone. I was like, yo, we should host a networking event where you speak to real estate photographers how to scale their business by just some tips and tricks, and Keegley North will host it.
Download everything.
All right, we're going.
course for $479.
Yeah.
20% off. Link below.
Continued
Yeah.
education every month.
Use my discount code. No.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
we've had this deal going on for 2 years, but I keep saying this is the last day.
All right, y'all, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys next episode. But later.
Later. It's like, why your hand like so big?
Well, my hand looks so small.